said that people who claim that they have homosexual tendencies should not be oppressed and subjected to inhuman treatments because of the way they claim that they are. Okay. And our church has always said that we shouldn't have a situation where people who say they're homosexuals are then singled out in society for very bad treatment. Okay. Yeah. But that's not to say that what they are doing is right. It simply means that everybody has a right to a little bit of respect of his own. The Pope is never going to say, oh, Reverend Fathers, from now on, you can marry two men who come before you for marriage. It's not possible. Our laws have not changed in that regard.
Thank you. We at Christ Siglet.
Oh, by the way, it is interesting and important to note that as far as same-sex marriage is concerned, in Nigeria, all the churches agree that it is wrong. We do know that in other countries, some of the churches not only have accepted this, but have even carried it high, where you find a man is being ordained a bishop, and he says he is gay, he has a male partner. And a woman was made a bishop in America, and she had been known to be living with another woman for the past, 20 years. And she brought her partner together with her. And they boast that they want to prove that God has nothing against it. Now, luckily in Nigeria, we don't have that. Our Anglicans in Nigeria have stood very strongly against even their leader, who seems to be soft on this matter. And I believe the Methodists too have the same position. And now when you go to Islam, Islam is very clear on the matter. Mind you, that does not mean that there are not homosexuals around. And we hear stories of this kind of thing happening, especially in certain circles of those who have money to give to small young boys and mess around with them. But everybody still says it is wrong. I think we must always distinguish between what the law says and what people do. The law clearly states you shall not steal. Stealing is going on every day. We cannot say because there's too much stealing, too much corruption in Nigeria, so why don't we just legalize it and have no more problem?
That's a good one.
That would be that is for me. That seems to be the argument that they are using. The law of God says you shall not commit adultery. You can say, oh, there are so many people sleeping around, so let's just forget about it. No more laws about whom you sleep with. Let's just be free. And there are people who live their lives that way, but they also face the consequences.
Yes.
I invite Reverend Father Lawrence Taja to handle the counseling section.
Dear Counselor, I finished my secondary school last year, and because I didn't make my papers, I decided to register again so that I can make my papers. A teacher in the school took interest in me and promised that he will help me to pass my exams. But he wants something more, sex, and I'm not interested. What do I do?
Hello, I'm Father Taja, and I'm here to respond to your questions. Thank you, Blessing, for sharing this with us. It's an experience that is common to a lot of young people also. But what leads to this in the first place? Why do people become afraid? We become afraid sometimes because we are not sure of ourselves. And when you are not sure of yourself, then you need help. But when you don't need help, then you don't have to accept something that somebody is forcing on you. Now, you have come back to register in order to make up your papers. When we are coming back to register, we are going to rely on somebody's help? No. If you are going to rely on somebody's help, then certainly what you are going through will be the end result. But if you are going to rely on yourself, you are going to work hard, then you should trust in yourself and really work hard and trust in God too. And that being the case, you should look for a good time and tell this teacher in a gentle way that you are not interested in this, so that he understands this is not what you want. You are here to write your exams. And one thing that can be very helpful is really to yourself work very hard so that you are not afraid of any exams at all. Once you have prepared yourself well, you have nothing to be afraid of. When people are not well prepared, that is when they are afraid. And when you are afraid, you are looking for help left, right, and center. And sometimes people who give you help want something back. In this case, you are not asking for it. He is offering it. But there are conditions attached to it. Are you going to accept it? I'm sure you are not ready to accept it. That is why you are talking about it. So what are you going to do? In the first place, apart from telling him you are not interested, you have to really prepare yourself so that you are not afraid of anything. Because I believe he wouldn't go and mark your WAEC. Somebody else, even if he marks WAEC, he may not mark yours. Somebody else will do it. I wish you the best as you take that bold step. You have started it by just opening up to talk about it. Hold on to your decision and work very hard. I wish you the best in your exams, preparations, and I hope that God will also be with you to bless your efforts.
That's the much you can take on today's episode, Arise Christ Siglet. I am Uniku Ojo Achille. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May God cause his face to shine upon you. May the good Lord be gracious to you. May God grant you peace. Amen.
Arise with the power of God to take you on the eagle's wings, far above all powers, to a place of rest from toils and setbacks. Arise from the dunghill and sit on the throne, for the blood of Jesus Christ has bled for you.